Hello everyone. So we are going to be going over how to install R for Mac users right now. There are a few steps that we need to do. This is a little bit different than the Windows install, and so we need to make sure that we do it correct the first time. If not, you can always stop by Bluecore or ask one of your instructors how to back this out. But in general, installing it right the first time is always a good idea. So we do have two programs that we need to install, and we need to install them in a very specific order. The first one is going to be this program called XQuartz. This version may change. And then the second program is going to be R, and this version may also change. And so I'm going to show you how to first install XQuartz, and then we'll install R shortly after. So first things first, what is XQuartz? XQuartz is a program that's used for visualization and used for plotting. This is the website, so you're just going to open up your favorite browser. You're going to type in XQuartz Mac, and it's usually going to be the first one. It says https www.xquartz.org. So we're just going to click on this. It's going to lead you to the front page. This version number, once again, can be different, but as of right now, this is the most recent version, 2.7.11, as of the date of this recording. So we're going to click on this download. As soon as it downloads, it's going to show up in your downloads bar, or it's going to show up in your downloads folder. Either one is fine. I'm just going to click on this one in my downloads bar. We're going to wait for it to open up. Cool. So we're just going to double click on this, just like any other installer in Mac. Then it's going to ask you for a lot of different prompts. This is a very safe program. It's just a visualization program, so we can just keep continuing and clicking next. So continue, click continue, continue, agree, and then we're just going to install it on our computer. And so it just asks us to put in our password, so we end up pausing the video for 1 second and just put it in. It's going to take some time to install, and so we're just going to let it finish out. And then what we need to do after it installs is you need to restart your computer. You absolutely have to do this step. So as soon as this program logs out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close everything on the desktop. I'm going to turn off my computer. I'm going to boot it back up, or you can just click restart. And then we're going to install the second program that we need for the course, which is called R. So we first install XQuartz, then we install R. It's going to take a little bit of time. So I'll pause this section of the video and we'll wait till it finishes. Great, so the installer finally finished. So what we're going to do is we're going to close out. We can move the installer itself to the trash. We no longer need it. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to close out all of my windows, and I'm going to open it back up, and I'll see you in part 2 for installing R. So welcome to part 2, where we're going to be installing the second half of what we need to get for installing R. So the first thing that we need to do is, now that we have XQuartz installed, and now that we have restarted our computer, I need to emphasize that we have restarted our computer. If you have not done that yet, please close everything down and make sure that you do. After we've restarted, we're going to go on to CRAN. So we're going to go to cran.rproject.org. You can also just type in CRAN into Google, and it should pop up. So I'll do it that way because that's how a lot of people are going to do it. So just type in CRAN R. It's going to be this first one right up here. So we're just going to click on this. Now we're going to be installing for Mac OS X. So we're going to click Download R for Mac OS X right here. And then up at the very top, they usually have the most recent install. At the time of this recording, it's 3.6.0. It may be a different version, usually higher for you if you're seeing this further in the future. But we want to select the most recent one, unless if indicated otherwise. So we're going to click on this one. It's going to download like usual. We're just going to wait for it to download. So I'm just going to pause the recording while I find it in my downloads. Awesome, so I found it in my downloads, and once you double click on the installer, just like you do for any other app, we'll end up finding that this is going to be the front of the installer page. Once again, R, just like XQuartz, is a very safe program, so we can click continue and agree as it ends up asking us. So continue, We'll continue on the agreements, continue on the licensing. We want to agree. You want to install for typically all users as a default, unless if you know otherwise why you would install on specific disks. So I'm going to select this option. Click install. And now I need to insert my password, so I'm just going to pause one more time. So I just input my password, and then after that, we're just going to let the installation keep running. It says that the installation was successful, and so we should be good to go. What we're going to do is we're just going to close down this window. We're going to move this to the trash. And let's see if we can end up popping everything up. So, first things first, we need to first open up R. So what we're going to do is we're going to open Finder, which is the little, Spotlight, which is the little magnifying glass up here. We're going to just type in R, enter. Let me find it really quickly. There we go. You can see your applications are right here. This is the one that we want. So we're just going to double click it. And this is the R console. So just so we know kind of what's going on, so this is a programming language called R. Luckily for this class, though, we won't need to know any programming. We're just going to be using a very specific package from this programming language to do all of our analysis for the class. So what we need to do is we need to run a few lines of code. These are going to be the last ones that you have to run in the class. So we'll run it together. The first one, you need to install R. So we're going to, install R Commander, which is the package name. So just type this line, install.packages, open quotes, R, capital R, CMDR. So you have to type this line exactly as it appears on my screen, or else you will not end up getting what we want. I'm just going to click enter, and it's going to ask for a cran mirror. And so for this cran mirror, I'm just going to go down. We have a few in the United States, and in fact, there's actually one in Michigan. I always default to this one. If this one doesn't work, you can default to any of the others in the United States are just fine. Click OK. It's going to do all of its stuff. It's going to kind of freak out a little bit, installing a bunch of different packages, and this is totally fine. And so to take a step back, why are we doing this? So we install XQuartz first to be able to plot things. And then we're going to install R, which is a programming language, so that we can download a package called R Commander. R Commander is what we're going to be using in this class. If that doesn't make any sense, no need to worry. We'll end up showing you how to open it up in a second and all that you'll need, but we do need to go through these installation steps. So this is just going to keep going. I'm just going to pause the video once again so that we don't need to see this entire downloading script. And then we can go from there. So I just finished with waiting for the prompt to finish. So we're just going to type in a second command. So we type in library, open paren, and then rcmdr, and we need to make sure that this R is going to be capitalized. So we're just going to run this command really quickly. And you'll see a bunch of stuff pop up in red text. That's totally fine. And it's going to say that we have a few packages missing, so we're just going to say, yes, we would love to install these packages. It's going to say, would you like to install them from CRAN or a local package? You can just keep all the default settings and just click OK. And it's just going to keep updating a few more packages, and this shouldn't take too long. Throughout this process, you're going to see it may ask you to update Xcode. If Xcode is out of date, it may ask you to update some system binaries. If it ends up asking you to update anything, just click yes, OK. It's going to ask quite a few prompts, and we just want to continue to allow it to do what it needs to do. Awesome. And if you end up getting this screen right here, this R Commander screen, this is exactly what we need. If you do not get this screen, you can reach out to our help email, or you can reach out to Bluecore. Both of those are going to be located in the Common Errors section. I want to show you how you're going to load up R first, and then I also want to show you there is something that we need to do to make it run fast. If you do not do this step, you are going to have quite a bit of issue throughout the semester. So first things first, let's actually close this out, and I'm going to show you how you're going to load it every single time. So you're going to exit. You can exit once again. You don't need to save the R session ever. So I'm sitting here. Let's say that I had just opened up my computer. I want to access R Commander. I'm going to go back up to Spotlight once more. I'm just going to type in the letter R. And you'll end up seeing it's usually the first hit. It's this guy right here. I'm just going to double click on him. I'm going to get this screen once again. Don't worry if you don't see exactly what I see. Sometimes you'll have different error messages or something else popping up. Now whenever I want to access it, I'm just going to type in that command library, open paren, capital R, CMDR. I'm just going to click return. It's going to have some text pop up, and I'm going to have this box pop up, which is exactly what we want. You only need to do this once, but it's always good to do it on your first install. So in order to make sure that R is going to run as fast and as efficiently as possible, we need to turn off one setting. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Tools. We're going to go to Manage Mac OS X AppNav for R. We're going to click on that. And it's going to say, do you want to set AppNav? And we're going to turn it off. And the reason why we do this is because this a lot of times will end up causing R to be a little bit boggy. It'll be a little bit slower than we want. We're going to click OK. As soon as we update that setting, we click X, we exit, we click X again, we don't save. And so the next time that we load it up, right, we type in the letter R, we open up the software, we type that library, R Commander again. We're going to get a really fast version of R Commander, and then this will be ready to do everything that we need in the semester. As soon as you see this for your first install, you are good to go. Just make sure that you are walking through the tutorials correctly, and you shouldn't have any issues. Thank you so much once again. Bye-bye.